You see, it's because I'm so touched and honored to be here that I'm turning, okay. So I will cut to the chase. I would like to present to you, because you all know her, tonight's NABJ Journalist of the Year.
A black journalist whose body of work has extraordinary depth, scope, or significance to people of African descent. Those are the requirements for NABJ Journalist of the Year. In nominating Michele Norris, host of NPR's All Things Considered, the radio network wrote, quote, "We think no other journalist is more deserving of that honor," end quote.
From NPR News, this is All Things Considered. I'm Robert Siegel.
And I'm Michele Norris.
Throughout the 2008 campaign season, Norris's unmistakable voice provided color commentary on the race, the election, and ultimately, the historic inauguration of President Barack Obama.
We are here at the Pepsi Center with Michelle Obama. We're backstage. We're past the speechwriting hub and past the podium center.
And her analysis of the race, as well as Washington politics, has been in high demand on network news programs like Meet the Press and The Chris Matthews Show.
What a fitting tribute to Michele that the National Association of Black Journalists chose her as Journalist of the Year. This past year, Michele appeared on my Sunday show many times to lend her keen political eye as we all watched the Democratic primaries and the general election. Michele's take on the movement we witnessed last year gave us facts, but at least as important, it gave us texture.
But it is Norris's insight into the African American experience that elevated the conversation on politics and race. Her journalistic ingenuity set in motion a project to sit down with a diverse group of Pennsylvania voters to discuss race. And her warmth as an interviewer garnered 15 hours of open and often jaw-droppingly honest conversation.
When asked when they were most aware of their racial status, most white voters said it's something they rarely think about. But most black voters said it's something they can't escape. Every day, when you walk out the door, you know what color you are, said 27-year-old Jasmine Byers. Her mother is black and her father is white. You don't have to think about your color every morning when you get up and walk out the door and interact with someone of a different background. You think of it every day. Other people, Caucasian people, don't have to think about that, Byers said.
Just one of the many examples of Norris's tough but sensitive style of journalism. Executives at NPR say Norris shines a light on the black experience in America and abroad. And for her work, we honor her.
It's heavy, and I'm going to see if I can I ask you to hold this? Thank you very much. I have a few things that I need to say because there are barely words to describe what this means to me, but let me try, and I'll try to do it in 15 minutes. Now, I only said that so I could see TJ clutch his heart. I'm just playing. I want to begin by thanking my parents, Belvin and Betty Norris. They taught me all I needed to know about storytelling. They taught me how to question authority without being sent to my room. I need to thank my sister Cindy, my children, Asia Norris and Brody, and a special thank you to my husband, Broderick Johnson. This was an election year, and it meant I spent a lot of time on the road. And when you step on a campaign plane or when you step out to cover a story, it means that you step away from the people you love. And so, Broderick, this award belongs to us. Thanks to my best friend Gwen, who said when we met it was Dallas. And what she didn't say is she rolled up on me like she was from Brooklyn. I hear you have access to a car. And we need to get to the mall. And I was like, well, yes, ma'am. And I've been saying yes, ma'am, ever since. I have to give a special shout out to the people who allow me to say every afternoon This is NPR, National Public Radio. It is an honor to speak those words every day. It is an honor to share a studio with Robert Siegel and Melissa Block and Steve Inskeep and Michelle Martin and so many other talented people. They are the voices that you hear, but there are so many other talented people behind the microphone. Ellen Weiss, Chris Turpin, Susan Feeney, Neil Carruth, Rhonda Ray, I could go on and on, Brendan Banaszak, Madeleine Kasika. They are fantastically talented. They are too large in number to mention by name every single one of them, but it is such an honor to work with all of you. You bring joy into my life. We row really hard at NPR, but you make it a joy. Thanks to the folks at Meet the Press. Thanks to Chris for that wonderful comment. And thanks to NABJ, because in many ways, this is like NABJ giving itself an award. I am an NABJ baby. I have been coming to NABJ for decades. And everything that I am as a journalist, every job I've ever gotten, every promotion I've ever received, every bit of confidence that I exude flows in some way from this organization. So thank you so much. I am you. I represent NABJ. Thank you to everyone who ever said, "You go, girl," whoever said, "Keep at it," but also thank you to everyone, and you know who you are, who also told me you're not ready yet. You think you're good, but you can be better. Thank you very much. And for all the young people who cringe or bristle when they hear that criticism, know that we are telling you those things because we want to prepare you for the challenges that you will face in the newsrooms that you will work in. We've busted down doors, and we want to make sure that you continue to follow in that path. We want to make sure that you're ready for the challenge. And these are some very challenging times. And so as I accept this award, I also want to ask something simple of you. I'm here tonight to humbly accept this award, but I can't help but feel a certain malaise hanging over the convention because these are difficult times. I want you all to do something. When they say the best days of journalism are behind us, please prove them wrong. When they start talking about our craft in the past tense, please remind them that whether you are on television or on the radio, whether you are a member of the pencil press, whether you're blogging or YouTubing or Twittering or whatever new thing they're going to come up with, please make sure that they understand that we are still here and we are still strong and we are still relevant. And when they say that information is so fleeting now that you can just get it and go and grab it, help make sure that they understand that when you just see a crawl at the bottom of a television or when you see the news on your cell phone, that that's fine. But that sort of news on the go is the equivalent to snacking on Cheetos. And that's fine, but we all know that if you want to conquer the world, you have to first understand the world. And if you're going to understand the world, then you're going to need a little bit of protein in your media diet. And so we need to make sure that we are churning out journalists that will be able to do exactly that. NABJ is still relevant. NABJ, now as important as ever, always there to support and stand up for its members, pushing beyond today's challenges, because our journey continues. And before I say goodnight, I have really just one last thing to say. And it is about a journey, and not our adventure in journalism, but a little boy named Journey. And his mother, Sandra Gregg. Sandra Gregg was dear to many of us, and we lost her this year. She passed away. And I miss looking out in this audience and seeing her face, but I feel her spirit on my shoulders, and I feel her warmth in my heart. And I think Gwen would concur here that I dedicate this award. We dedicate this award to Sandy Gregg. Thank you very much.